not like I have a crystal ball. I can't tell the future. But what I do know is history and human nature. What humans will justify doing to other humans for power or revenge or even vengeance. And that's what's going on right now. I said over a year ago in my podcast and on social media that at the end of the day, all of this would end up coming down to Crimea. You see, Ukraine is the breadbasket to Europe. And if they cut off the grain to Europe, what do you think happens to the price of bread, the availability of bread and foods in Europe? More importantly, what happens to the price of grain here in the U.S. as we try to fill the gap? How high does our bread go? That's the shit that starts wars.
Russia says 2 people have been killed after what they are calling a Ukrainian attack against the vital bridge that links Crimea to Mother Russia.
It comes as the Kremlin says it is halting the deal, allowing the export of Ukrainian grain.
It's going to be substantial. Alexandria Hoff is live in Washington. Alexandria, what's the damage?
Yeah, let's talk about the damage for that bridge because it is logistical and it's also symbolic in many ways. This Crimean bridge is the only transport artery that connects Russia to the Crimean Peninsula. So Russian supply routes for the war against Ukraine were cut off early this morning after the Kremlin said that Ukrainian naval drones caused the partial collapse of the bridge. No word when that's going to be repaired. Symbolically, as I mentioned, it's another hit to President Putin's pride. He opened the bridge himself by driving on it in 2018. That was in celebration of annexing the region from Ukraine. At the same time, you mentioned Russia has pulled out of the unusual wartime deal that had allowed Ukraine to export grain. The goal there was to avoid a global food crisis. We've already seen grain prices rise since this announcement was made. And the Biden administration is also trying to remedy a U.S. military supply shortfall, which was revealed to the world when the president let this slip earlier this month.
The Ukrainians are running out of ammunition. The ammunition that they call them 155 millimeter weapons. This is a war relating to munitions, and they're running out of that ammunition, and we're low on it.
Well, the White House's John Kirby said yesterday that the administration is working with the defense industry to restock.
We're working very closely with the defense industry to try to ramp up production, particularly for artillery shells. You saw that we gave some cluster munitions to Ukraine as a bridging solution here while we ramp up production. We're having very, very strong conversations with the defense industry, and we believe that we'll be able to get there.
Sure hope we do. Kirby was responding to the report from the Center for Strategic and International Studies that found that replacing our munition inventory, that could take between 4 to 7 years. Guys, we'll
so Alexandria, it looks like it was drones that did it, but they didn't get the train. And the train is the one that delivers a lot of the weaponry, correct?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, this is a route for vehicles and for trains. It seems like the train could have been the target of this. They only got the westbound sides of this roadway. If these were naval drones, I don't know exactly how accurate those could be. But yeah, this looks like something, unfortunately, that can be repaired, and that access and still in some way will be able to get through during that time.
It's just going to slow them way down.
That's right.
And that